Welcome, everyone, to another Thursday. It is November 30th, 2023. This is the Two Men in a Room podcast. I am your co-host, Anthony from Orlando, and our other co-host.
I am Vernell, also from Orlando. We want to thank each and everyone for joining in, and we greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's just kick off into it because Anthony been excited all day long. He got a lot going on. So what is going on for tonight?
All right, we got a lot going on. Once again, yes, thank you for everyone watching, sharing, liking. We are getting phenomenal numbers of you people watching. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And we got a real treat for tonight. And I don't know where this is going to go because this is a story from our co-host. It is the midget on a plane story. Okay, you got to break this down for us. What this story is and how it all happened, how it began, what was going on. I'm going to let you go with it. Go with it.
Well, I took a flight to Vegas. And after I finished what I had to do in Vegas, my flight back. Mm-hmm. At that time, it was a seat next to the midget. Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against midgets. You know, I think they're the cutest little things out there. I love the midget.
Who were you flying on?
Oh, I was flying Frontier. I was flying Frontier.
Okay, Frontier.
Okay,
so you get to pick your seat because unless you buy your seat. I've flown with them a few times. Okay,
of course. So it was a midget, and he was in the middle seat. So I could have sat in the aisle seat, but I chose to sit across from him, like a row back. If that makes sense.
Okay, so you're a row back from him.
Right.
Okay.
So I was like, look at the little midget, so cute. And so we preparing for takeoff. Once we took off, he happened to fall asleep.
Okay.
And boy, when he fell asleep, he was sleeping. He was snoring so loud.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I did not sit next to him, even though I don't sleep on planes because you know me and my heights, and I'm nosy and I got to figure out what's going on. And he snored for at least an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm like, the individual that was next to him at the window seat kept looking at him, but he was out like a light. And I think on planes, you can't help if you sleep, you snore. I guess it is what it is. But I think you got to be mindful on, I guess, get enough sleep the day before. I don't know, because when flying, you know, you have so many people on this flight with you to where you don't want to be the one that look like you the bad guy on the plane or snoring or doing the most on the plane. And I was just glad that I did not sit next to him because that would have got on my last nerve, you know.
So could you hear him? You were about what, 2 rows back? Could you?
Yeah. Oh,
he
was loud. He were loud. He was like loud, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he is so loud snoring. And then he had his little foot thing there, I guess, where he could get up and get on and get up in the seat or whatever. And he had his head laid back and he was getting his Z's, you know. And I understand people fall asleep on planes and all that good stuff, but the snoring did it for me. It was just crazy. And then another story, I don't know if you heard about this story with the lady squatting down in the middle of the aisle on Spirit or Frontier.
Well, was she the one trying to look for a bathroom or something, and
yes,
she couldn't
and that
find
was
it, or she couldn't get into it or something?
Yes, and she squatted right there in the middle of the aisle.
Did she pee? She peed?
They say she
in the plane. In the plane.
Yes, and this was either Frontier or Spirit, allegedly. So I guess you get what you pay for. I don't know.
That's insane.
So
With
with you being on the plane, I know you flew, several times.
yes.
What was one thing that was so annoying to you on the plane?
I think boarding is probably the most annoying part of doing it because you always. I fly on the cheaper airline, so I try to pick my own seat. I feel like paying, $25, $35 just to pick a seat is not worth it. I try to fly later in the day so there's less people flying. And I'll usually head towards the back of the plane just so I can put my headphones in, watch a movie, or take a nap or whatever. But I'm in the back where nobody can see me. Nobody knows I'm back there. I usually have the rest of the row to myself. So I've been lucky so far with that. But I mean, if I saw somebody really snoring, I think I'd like maybe drop couple drops of water on their head or something, kind of wake them up or something. Like,
Uh-huh.
you can't throw a bucket of cold water on them, but at least, try to wake them up or something. Did he have like a little mask on or something? Was he
No,
like fully
no.
out? He just
He
fell
was
asleep and just,
fully, that head was
oh
back
my
and
God.
he was out like a light. When I normally take flights, especially for leisure, I love to get where I'm going so I can have the rest of that day so I could get acquainted to where I'm going at, get a feel for it and, start my adventure per se. So I like going as early as possible when I go somewhere, with me and my best friend or me and my family, because you know how we roll. Um, so that's us. We book the earliest flight possible, to get where we want to go, especially if it's New York or where I drove to New Orleans. But I like getting places early. I'm an early bird. I don't want to catch the flight 5, 6, 7 o'clock. I ain't got time for all that. Let me get there as early. Now coming back, it's a different story. I don't want to get up too early to go back because it's just too much. When I left Vegas, I had to be to the airport at I had to be there at, I think my flight left at 7. So I had to get there at 5. That's just too much. Let me get back because I want to come back home around 6, 7-ish p.m. Because that's not too bad. So going, I want to go early, but coming back, not so early, because I still, on my last day, I still want to maybe go get something to eat that I've tried and I really like. It's just be too much for me because my anxiety, it kicks in when it comes to the airports and being on time with the luggage. So I just be going through a lot. So, I'm not a fan of flying, but I got to do what I got to do to get where I want to go. So it's not too bad. I think I got used to the turbulence, but I done seen arguments. I've witnessed people, hey, I was going to put my luggage there. You need to move your luggage and stuff like that. So I try to compact everything in a nice big luggage, put it on the plane. That way I ain't got to worry about it and just have my messenger bag on. And that's all I got to deal with. But I try not to have too much because I try to be as organized as possible when flying. So I won't have to go through all that. But, it is what it is. Things happen. So
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, to the midget, Spirit's probably like first class because, you got that room anyway. You don't need all that much room. So,
right. But my thing is it really worth booking Spirit and Frontier, even though it's cheaper, but you have to pay for your luggage there and back?
Well, I gave up on Frontier because they actually lost my luggage. The
They
story
never.
of my bag went to Vegas, but I've never been to Vegas.
So
I was angry about that. So I don't use them anymore. But
did you get your luggage?
I did. It took about 2 days because the first day the flight was late. We had a snowstorm. So we got in about 2, 3 in the morning. And I go down to the little carousel. The carousel's bringing all the bags out. And I'm looking for my bag. I'm like, oh, shoot. I didn't see my bag. Somebody steal it. It's just a plain black bag. Somebody take it. And I'm like, it's me and this other person just looking at each other, and all the bags were gone. So we walk over to the little Frontier booth that was open, and they were just about to close because they were done. And we said, so our bags weren't there. And she's like, oh, well, you're going to have to kind of wait till the morning because that was the last flight. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, was the bag put on? And she's like, okay, hold on. Both our bags were not put on the flight. So I decided it's 3 a.m. I left the keys to my truck in the bag because I didn't think I needed to carry them on me because I hate going through TSA with all the metal and stuff. I like just go right through, just scan me real quick. There's no metal. I'm going through, nothing metal on me. So I didn't have the keys in my truck. So I said, all right, well, I'll just stay here and I'll wait till the morning. And then, a flight around 10 or 11 should come in with the bag on it. So I fell asleep at the airport. Ate, what did I have? I think I had Chick-fil-A that morning. Go over to the booth, tell her my story. The other guy had left. He got picked up by somebody. And they're like, okay, the bag's still in Milwaukee. So what we could do is we can get the bag to Vegas and have it here. And I was like, can you have it here today? They're like, I think we can get it here by 6. And I'm like, okay, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything right now. So let's just go with that. Yeah. So we're going through the day. I'm watching what goes on in an airport during the day. It was actually kind of fun, a little fascinating. Go back around like 4 o'clock to the counter and say, okay, is the bag coming in? And it turns out, yeah, the bag got to Vegas, but they forgot to load it onto the next plane from Vegas to Orlando. I said, you gotta be kidding me. So the bag's in Vegas right now. And she said, yes, but we have a flight tomorrow from 11 o'clock. We're going to put it on that one. It'll come in, so you'll be able to pick it up tomorrow. And I'm like, but my keys are on the bag. I can't get in my house. I can't get my vehicle out of parking. So that's when it started going into arguing, and I got them to be able to pay for the extra parking days. So they did reimburse me for that. And I decided I just went down to Avis. Oh, I just saw this as a memory on Facebook. I went to Avis. I rented a car from them. I drove to my mom's, stayed at my mom's for the night, and then ended up going to work, leaving work, going to the airport, giving them back the rental car, getting my keys, getting my truck, and being able to go home from there.
Did they pay for the rental car?
They didn't pay for the rental car. They said, well, that was your own decision to do that. And I was like, but there was no other way to get around. So I don't know. Right. So I paid for the rental car, but they didn't pay for the extra days that the truck was left there. So
wow.
I at least got something out of them, but I will never fly with them again.
Well, the only thing that I was mad with that's when I was with one trip with the TSA foolishness. I guess when I went through the thing and it swerved around me and they say, hey, Steph, and then they say, hey, we got to check you fully. Do you want to go on the back? I said, we're not going in the back. Whatever I need to do, we finna do right here because you're not finna take me back there and I don't come back. No, ma'am. So I say, nope, we're not going in the back. What I need to do right here, because he said, I got to really search you. I said, well, you're going to really search me right here because we're not going in the back.
Playing some drugs somewhere on you?
I don't know what happened with the machine, but he said, well, I'm going to have to check in and behind. I said, well, I don't care what you got to do. I'm not going back there.
Did he put the gloves on?
Plant nothing on me. You ain't no. Whatever finna go on, everybody finna see it. Right here, right now. He said, are you sure? I say, oh, I'm sure, I'm positive. You're not taking me back there because I don't know what's back there. All them rooms and all that. No, sir. No, I'm not finna roll like that with y'all. Whatever's got to happen right here, it's gonna happen right in front of my family, and we're gonna keep this thing pushing. Cause I know ain't had nothing on me, but he thoroughly checked me, but it happened right there in front of everybody. I did not care.
So they didn't find anything on you?
No. And then I had to put my little thumb in the thing. Then they said I had to wait 30 seconds. And then the third, they say, okay, you free to go. And I'm like, well, what is that all about?
Okay. So getting to the story of the woman, do you ever use a bathroom on a plane?
Okay, so you know me. I'm already 40,000 feet in the air, 30 plus thousand feet in the air. So I try my best to use the restroom before I get on the plane because I'm scared of heights, and you know me, I'm already up there and I know it. So I try not to use the restroom on the planes. I have before because I took a 5.5-hour trip to California, and then the Vegas trips was about 5 hours. So I used the restroom, but I try to make it quick, but I try not to use the restroom on the plane. I try wherever I'm gonna sit at, I'm gonna sit there till it's time to get off the plane. But the sad part about it, I love the takeoff and I love the landing. It's just I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to look out the window. I don't want to look at the friendly skies. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to get where I need to go and get off these people's plane. But I try not to use the restroom. But I know for a fact that you don't mind how long a flight is. Am I correct?
No, as long as I have something to watch on the plane. I've done the longest I think I've done is like 2.5, close to 3 hours. It's not a big deal for me. I don't mind it.
So what was the longest trip on the plane for you?
Probably Milwaukee was 3 hours.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Correct.
I'm gonna give it 2.5. Now we could push it to 3. I may push it to 3, but if the flight 2 hours, I'm ready.
If I can get a layover, I'll take. If I can get a layover, I'll take the layover.
I take the layover. I don't care because a lot of people don't like coming down and going back up. That don't bother me. No. So, but those that do the 9 hours, the 10 hours, and going overseas and the 17 hours, I'm not doing all that. I'm just ain't going. I'm just telling you straight up. I can't get there. I'm just not gonna get there because I can't do it. That's too long on a plane. I'm sorry.
Right. Like if I were to go to Asia, I'd probably do a layover in Hawaii for a day.
I don't know. I don't know if I need to take some Benadryl, take a shot. I don't drink, so that probably knock me out. But again, if I take a shot or something, I fall asleep and I'm snoring, then I'm embarrassed. So I don't know. I have to think about this thing. But nevertheless, the midget, I think it was.
The midget.
It's the cutest little thing. But this midget head was back, and he was snoring. And I know that the people that was in his vicinity and in his little bit of space was mad with him because he was getting it in.
Oh, I mean, he rattling chairs and
and he did not care. I guess I don't know, but nevertheless, it is what it is. We have to accept some things on planes because we can't control what other individuals do. So, What's the next topic?
Okay, so the next topic's a little bit of a change. We had a controversy. So, what is it called? The Renaissance movie that came out was basically Beyonce's version of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie, from what I've read. So it was her. She was out there doing her concerts, and they filmed a lot of it. And so she went to the premiere, and she said that the theme for her concerts were silver. So she showed up in silver with a, what was it, platinum blonde, I guess, or silvery type hair color.
Right.
And a lot of people saw this because it was the premiere and said, is Beyonce trying to be too white now
Oh gosh.
to get fans to go see her movie? So I believe we have the picture. So while I pull up that picture, go ahead and give me your thoughts on that one.
I don't think Beyonce needs to do anything to get fans to go see her movie. They gonna flock to the movie anyway. You know, I'm not a big Beyonce fan. You know, I have nothing against Beyonce. I'm not going to go to no concert. I'm not going to go to the movies. I'm not doing none of that foolishness or whatever. I just think it's a lot going on, you know, with the black sunglasses versus the right of me.
Okay, so the one in the silver dress is from the premiere, and the one with the glasses is actually she was taking something going a couple of years back. It says. Let's see if we can find out when that was actually from. Bear with me.
She looked good though.
So she was in London for a private event or some type of event in the other one. So there's a photo of her with Jay-Z. But she's basically stating that she's worn this hair color before. And it's okay for black women to wear blonde hair coloring. It's not you're trying to be white. It's not you're trying to lighten yourself up or anything. So would you agree or?
No, I totally agree. I just think, you know, they love Beyonce. And I just think that she looked good no matter what. Like I say, I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but, you know, I just really loved Beyonce when she was with Destiny's Child. But nevertheless, she looked good on both pictures. I don't think she's trying to be white. She just chose to wear blonde hair with her silver dress with the accessories, and she looked good to me. And I mean, it is what it is. I just think that somebody always gonna have something negative to say when you're not up to par for them, the way they think you should look or be or act. So you're gonna always get backlash on something. But you know, it really don't matter. She corn, she don't care. So hey, let her do her thing. If she want to wear blonde, she want to wear peach, she want to wear platinum, just that's her. You know, she's feeling herself. She look amazing, and it is what it is. I don't think she's trying to be white. She just being her and doing her, and nobody shouldn't be mad about the situation. Just let people be whatever look they aiming for. You know, accept it and be done with it. Don't worry about it, and everything gonna be all right. It is what it is. You know, have fun. You got to switch your image up sometimes. So, hey, kudos to Beyonce. You know, she corn. I wouldn't care if I was Beyonce. Say what you want to say, but my bank account is on overload. So whatever. She look good. You know, I think she don't need to do anything for them to flock to the movies. She don't have to do anything. They're gonna flock there anyway because it's Beyonce. You know, the Beehive going to support her no matter what. So she look amazing. And that's all I got to say about that situation. She look good. You know, I mean, it threw a lot of people off because she looked good. It threw a lot of people off because it's almost directly her skin color almost. So with the silver, you know, dress and all that and the silver accessories or whatever. But, you know, but I guarantee you they're gonna go watch that movie. Them same old one talking about what she look like, they're gonna go watch that her movie, her Renaissance movie, or whatever.
From the photo, it looks more just a lighting and filter thing. It's just it's a movie premiere. There's going to be a lot of lighting on you from a lot of different photo cameras and everything going off, that it just looks like it lightened her up. If you look back at the photo from England, you can see she's still, tannish, darkish skin. Even with the glasses on, you can see that. But the hair color is a little blonder, I guess.
Right.
Because she was trying to do a silver hair color style. And here's something to think about. If you're a comics fan, there's something that represents this that immediately pops to mind is Storm in the comic books.
Right.
She's African. She has silver white hair from the electricity she has to conduct to use her powers. And no one ever said anything about that.
Right.
No one ever said she was trying to assimilate or assume white or any of that. It was just, that's the way she looked. So I think it's a little of, like you say, probably jealous people, but the picture is basically lighting and the effect of it looking brighter and therefore a little bit lighter than normally. I don't think she has anything to worry about. The movie's going to do pretty well. It's not as high as the Eras tour, but it's still going to do pretty well because there's nothing else out there to watch.
I mean, if it don't do well, she got enough money. It's not going to affect her anyway. So
no, I mean,
it really don't matter.
You're still getting the tour proceeds and everything,
right?
So it's not
it is what it is.
A little extra.
So mentioning Beyonce, you finna be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I watched something that I never thought I would watch. So they had a documentary with Jay-Z and Gayle King, the one had the documentary. And I actually watched the 1 hour documentary about Jay-Z. And I couldn't believe it because, I don't do rappers, I don't be caring about all that. But it was very interesting. I see him. I don't have nothing against no stars because it is what it is. They out there to do their thing, make money, and entertain. But it was actually, I really enjoyed that, and I couldn't believe I actually watched it because I don't do that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I like Jay-Z. I like Jay. He's gonna come out with a new album.
Really?
Yes, his he said he want to cut his dreads off, but his daughters don't want him to.
Okay.
So he said he's still fighting with them on that, but he's going to cut them. It's just in due time. He said just stay tuned. But it was nice. I didn't know he had a 2-story museum in Atlanta.
Really?
Yes. So I found out a lot about Jay-Z, and it was very interesting. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It was very interesting. Yeah, okay. I learned more about him just by watching that and with the questions that Gayle asked him. So I enjoyed it. So I mean, I couldn't believe I watched it, but I did. So, I just had to throw that in there since we was talking about, his wife and but he really didn't mention much about Beyonce. It was really all about him. The questions that Gayle was asking and what does his future look like and stuff like that.
Was she there with him or was it just him?
It was just him. Yes.
Okay, I can understand that. This is his story.
Yeah, it's his story. So Gayle asked something about Beyonce and the kids and the hairstyle. That's how they end up being thrown in there. But it was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, I mean, I just couldn't believe I watched it. But I did. It was nice. So I probably, I guess,
Try experimenting every now and then.
I do because, I really don't care about rappers because, I ain't got time for all that. To each his own. I'm not putting rappers down. I do love some rappers, but not to me, there's a different tone. You got some that's really, really hardcore rappers. Right. You got some that's more light on rapping and stuff. So, but I do love like the Nicki Minaj, the Cardi B and the what the guy name is, Chance the Rapper, Nelly, and stuff like that. But yeah. So what's next on our agenda for tonight?
Small snippet of rap, but we'll get into that into another story for another day. So another thing that came up that was really interesting going through stories to look for and stuff is there's more and more pastors, people of faith coming out and speaking on name brand stuff and why people need to buy this type of stuff. You're basically making the families, the owners of these businesses uber rich, and all you're really doing is just wearing their name and your giant bill. So do you think that that's the right way of looking at it? Is you're just a giant billboard for these name brands, or do you feel like it's a representation of who you are and how you feel, and hey, you've got the money, you could spend it?
I think it's a representation of who that individual is. You know, I love my labels. I love my brands, but I personally think that, yeah, like Gucci, it was the family last name. Baton, it's the family last name. You know, all these are just family last name that they done came up and say, okay, we're going to name our product Louis Vuitton. We're going to name it Gucci, Prada, and stuff like that. But I just think a lot of people, I buy it for the quality purpose of it because it would last a long time. If I'm going to buy some tennis shoes, I want to buy calf leather shoes because they're going to last a long time. Versus you buy the no-name brand and, you know, you going to wear it for how long it is time to replace them. I just feel like if the individuals like their brands, I mean, so be it made. If they got the money to do it, it is what it is. You know, some people don't even like name brands. You know, I know you don't care for name brands, but I do, right? But I'm not going to go crazy about it. I do have, you know, well, I guess you could say I got Gucci, I got Louis Vuitton, I got Ferragamo, I got.
So you got all the heavyweights.
You got
all the top ones.
I got all the top. I got Valentino. Yeah, I got all the top brands. Okay, so let's just analyze it like this, right?
Okay.
So, like, when a man wears Sauvage and Chanel, right? To me, it lasts all day long because which is the cologne, correct? Versus you go buy a brand that not top tier, I guess. So it ain't gonna last as long. That's just like if you love to drink, right? A lot of individuals gonna get the top shelf drink, right?
Right.
I don't drink. So they say, you know, they want the top shelf drinks, right? That's with all the big boys on the very top. That's what gonna get them to where they need to be. Yes, we are making them rich, but everybody needs clothes, everybody needs shoes. I think it all depends on the individual. If they got the money to buy it, I don't see a problem with it. Maybe because I like the labels. That's why I'm saying it. But, you know, I hang with friends that don't care about labels. So, like my family, they're not going to buy me nothing that's not almost top tier or whatever. I don't know. If you, I don't think it's, yeah, you're right in a sense. And I do understand it because clothes is clothes, shoes is shoes, I guess. But I buy, yeah, for the name, but I also buy for the quality of it, you know. Like, you know that I love Marcel von Berlin. It's a German. It's from Germany. and
Yeah.
it's it's good quality wood, good quality leather, sheet, all that kind of stuff. That's what I look for in things when I buy certain shoes, especially my shoes, because I want good quality shoes. I don't think it's that bad. What's your take on it?
I mean, have you ever seen a pair of Hanes that have lasted 5 years?
Okay. Now I don't let me see, because I want to be careful how I say this because
Because all right, so you said it's longevity, it's
yes,
better materials,
yes,
it's gonna
yes,
last you longer, so you
yes,
should invest your money into this.
right.
Okay. I've had some shirts that I'm still wearing, and they're about 13 years old.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I've even had some pants last about 14, 15 years too.
Right.
So
And I'm not saying I
I
get
think
where you're
it's
coming from.
how you wear them and where you're wearing them and all that, that it doesn't need to be name brand. It just needs to kind of maybe look name brand because you do
Right.
want to present your an image. So I'm not talking about the guys that wear like holy underwear and stuff. Like when those are gone, man. So
Right.
don't try to say, well, mine
I
lasted 10 years and they're
right.
falling off of you.
I don't
But a good
someone
pair
asked
will
me
last you a while. Go ahead.
someone asked me will I was the last time I shopped out of Walmart as far as like socks and undies, and I told them, oh my gosh, God rest my mom. So I always, even when she bought my things, she bought me nice things or whatever. But I always to ask her where did I get my taste from? And if she said it wasn't from her, and it would show it wasn't from my daddy, because me and my daddy really ain't get along. But I don't know, because I just don't like buying nothing cheap. It's especially, I love my fashions. I love my shoes and I love my clothes. My tank top's gonna be, like top tier. My undies, gonna be Polo or whatever brand that's out there. I got some Dolce and Gabbana. I just think if that what makes you feel good, then by all means do it. As long as you ain't begging for money to pay a bill, hey, by all means, do and I just think it is what it is. But I do understand where you're coming from, that we are making the Louis Vuitton, the Versace, the Prada, families rich. But to me, you only got one life to live. Live it. If that's what you like, hey, go for it. Just show out, show up, show out, and just don't worry about it. So I don't know. I'm always buy name brand, but to a certain extent now. To a certain extent.
Okay. Okay.
But it is what it is. But what people fail to realize, you could go on clearance as well and get nice name brand. Ain't nothing wrong with it being on clearance. It's just on clearance. Don't nobody know you got it off the clearance rack. It is what it is. It may be like some people don't like wearing labels that's a year old or a year and a half old or whatever. So, cause that's what when they slang them on clearance and it's cheaper price. Who cares? It don't matter. It is what it is to me. And I'm just being honest about, the clearance rack. There's nothing wrong with clearance. It is what it is. If you can save $1 to save a coin and be done with it. But I just think it's to each his own at this point, because like you love your cars, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you really not gonna go buy a Honda or a Toyota or a Kia. You're not gonna do that.
Oh, I thought you were gonna remind me of how much I paid this year alone for maintenance on the stuff. Okay,
No,
so
I wasn't gonna do that.
I'm gonna go into this, but let me stick with the clothes for a minute. what I'll say is you can buy really nice clothes that looks just as good as the high end stuff. So if you are, unless you're like a social influencer, you don't really need to buy the high end stuff. You just need nice looking clothes. Like as long as they're decent looking, no one's really checking the labels anymore. And I think he's got a point in the sense that, don't overextend yourself
Right.
buying stuff to look like the Joneses.
Right.
Because the Joneses are probably, double mortgaged up, credit cards maxed out, and the cars are probably going to get repoed next month anyway.
Well,
So don't be like the Joneses. If you want to look like them, that's great. But you know what? Create your own style. Get stuff that you like. If it feels comfortable, wear it. I wear a pair of boxers that cost about $4. Cheap stuff because it feels comfortable. It's comfortable to wear. It's comfortable to move in. It doesn't need to be, Calvin Klein. It doesn't need to be, what's the other name brands that are out there?
You got all kind, but okay.
For all that.
But you could go.
I understand where he's like, you're giving your money away. And I think he's speaking more to people who aren't saving. You're not saving for retirement, not saving for a future home. If you're living in a little shack, but you've got to have a Mercedes Benz with 24-inch gold rims on it, and you've got to have an all white linen suit because you got to go to the club on the weekend, you might want to go sell that stuff and get yourself into a decent home or decent apartment where it's not looking bad. There isn't vacant cars and animals running through the yard all the time. Like, get yourself into a nice place first. Then you can start looking into getting into higher end fashion and stuff like that. But at the same time, save a little bit of your money. And like the same thing with cars, I was actually out walking earlier today, and you know what? There's still people driving around in little Ford Fiestas, little Hyundai Elantras. They're driving around and stuff. Now, I'm gonna go where you're going.
You better.
I've worked very hard for what I have, and all my bills are paid. Everything's okay. We're not falling into debt or anything. So yes, at that level, you can start looking at higher end stuff. If you want a high performance machine, you could start looking at a high performance machine. But even so, you want luxury, look at luxury. But you can get luxury and high performance at a good discount and good value. The car that I have was significantly higher priced with lower mileage. I decided to buy a higher mileage version of it so I get a better discount on it. And it actually saved me money from the truck that I was in. So you have to find, like you say, the discounts, the clearances items.
Right.
And you could still look the part without paying for the part. Because there are some guys out there that pay $1,500 for a t-shirt. $1,500 for a t-shirt. I don't know what your car payments are or mortgage payments are to whoever's listening to this, but if that's your payment, think about that there's some guy out there who paid that same payment for just a t-shirt
because they got the money to do it.
Think about that. But that's still crazy. $1,500 for a t-shirt you're gonna wear maybe once or twice.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, is that what makes them feel good? If it's their money, they could spend it on whatever, however, and whoever. I don't care.
But it's not like the money went to the people that made it. I mean, they had, low wage, low paid people making the t-shirt, a designer that barely got medium pay for designing it, and all that money went to the brand. And it's building the brands that is the problem. Like, you have huge mega money people out there who just run brands. Look at the luxury brand guy who owns like high-end stuff, Victoria's Secret, Pink,
well, I don't look at Victoria's Secret as
all
a
those
high-end
other stuff.
brand.
Well, he's got a whole bunch of other companies onto it. I'm just thinking of that one because he popped into my head. But there's also like they're, they're escaping my head as I think about it. But there are these Gucci is actually owned, if they're still owned, by a Middle Eastern uh, company that has other major brands around the world that are in the luxury process. So you're building the brand more than anything. You're not like giving money to the workers that work at the brand or
It
the
don't matter
designers or
because
anything. You're
they
just
not
building
thinking
those
about that.
people.
They just see what they like and they can afford it, so they buying it. That's all that matters to them. They don't care who the money going to. They don't care about that. You know, the mega stars, the superstars, the A-listers, they just want nice labels or brands to represent themselves, and that's it. They don't care who it's going to. It is what
So,
it is, you know.
so if you could find a small style of house that could make stuff to look very much like what the brands are making, wouldn't you want to go and help that small business a little bit more so that they could, be prosperous and do better?
You could help
Rather,
them, but still at the same time, you could get what you want to as well because you got the money to do it. That's all I'm saying.
well, if you've got the money, you should also invest it, is what he's
Like
saying.
me, I'm not finna wear no Hanes. I'm just not wearing Hanes. I'm not wearing Hanes and I'm not wearing Fruit I'm not doing it.
But they last.
They last, but what I buy lasts too. You know, our money, they last. But
Okay,
okay,
Armani.
yeah. So I just think when it comes to socks and undergarments, it got to be some point in time to where you just got to let it go. I may have mine maybe 7, 8 months, and I'm ready to throw them away because it's been 7, 8 months. You need fresh undies.
Right. But you just don't have to pay a fortune for them.
I mean,
Because there is a brand that I'm thinking of that um, basically sells other people's stuff for quite a large markup. And I have been vocal about this in the past that you shouldn't be giving the money to him. And he's kind of stepped away from the company a little bit, but he's still getting stock prices and everything. And that is Jeff Bezos with Amazon. Amazon became a conglomerate of just buying other people's stuff and selling it to you at a huge markup. And it would have been much easier just to go find the little guys who are building this stuff and get the products straight from them.
but
But people thought it
Amazon
was so
also,
much easier
well,
to do
Amazon
Amazon.
made it easier to just go online, buy it, have it delivered, and they just feel like that's the right thing to do. So
But now you're seeing that small businesses around the country are now shutting down and
that's
they,
not our
they can't
problem.
get through.
That's not our problem.
What What do you mean that's not our problem? When there aren't
Hey,
enough people to buy stuff after a while, it'll be a problem.
well, I'm not an Amazon. I'm not an Amazon shopper anyway, so I could care less if I go on Amazon. I like touchy feely
That's good.
going to see it, going out to see it, and I'm not an Amazon person, so
Good. Because I just found out an interesting article on Mr. Bezos this morning. He's actually investing in a new real estate company. It's called Arrived. And what they're doing is they're buying single family homes around the country and possibly in other countries also. And they'll rent them out to you. And what they'll end up doing is after they buy a block of them or so, they will actually sell fractions of the homes to other people to invest in these homes. Now, if the housing market goes up, you're making money. If the housing market goes down, you're going to be losing money.
But do Jeff Bezos even care if he lose a little bit of money? He don't care.
But there's an underlying factor to this in the point that people will no longer be owning homes anymore. And I wonder if this is a good thing or a bad thing that all these investors are buying the homes and sometimes even selling to other investors to raise the price up. So let's take a $90,000 shack in the woods. You know, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. It's just there. Guy buys it for $90,000, wants to go and flip it. Flips it to another guy for $120,000. That guy flips it to another guy for $150,000. Guy puts a second bedroom on it, sells it for $250,000. That thing changed hands like 3 or 4 times, and the price just jumped to where somebody could have just went and bought it at $90,000, put another bedroom on it, and had a nice little home. So we're not owning stuff anymore. We're just giving money to somebody else. That's the underlying factor.
First of all, we're going to always give money to somebody else. You just have to deal with it. When you buy a car, we giving money to somebody because we need a car.
Right.
You need clothing, shoes, undergarments. We giving money to somebody. Whether it's labels or not, we still going to always give money to other individuals. Now, with your home, I can understand. And then it takes 30 years to pay it off anyway. So, you know.
Well, there's 15-year mortgages if you can afford that.
But you got to have that bread, too, to make sure it's a 15-year mortgage, too.
Right. But, so don't spend all your money on these high-end brands. Save your money.
People going to do what they want to do, right? On it. And it is for this. I'm not worried about if somebody go buy a house. That's on them. That's not my problem. I got to worry about me. If I'm having a nice savings, am I preparing for my future when it's time for me to retire? Lord's willing, knock on wood, that I live to see retirement. So I can't worry about the other people. I got to worry about why. I can't worry about what the other person's doing, what are they buying, what they ain't buying. I don't care. That's on them. Well, I care, especially if it's family, because I want to see everybody okay in my family. But, you know, Jeff Bezos, if he lose money, I don't care. That's not my problem. He got enough money. He need to sit down anyway. He's a billionaire. He's never going to spend all that money. Let it go. Enjoy life. Because how old is he now?
He's in his 50s, maybe close to 60.
Okay, so just let it go. Now it's time to retire. And you got so much money. Enjoy life. Child, please. I got time for all that.
They're having a fight between him and Elon, who could be the biggest billionaire.
But why? They already billionaires.
Because you want to be on top. You want to be you want to be number one.
That's the problem. You don't have to be on top. Enjoy what you have. You already blessed to be a billionaire. Don't you know people is walking around here barely could be 100-aire, you know, 1,000-aire, you know. So be blessed, be happy with what you have. You are blessed to have all these billions of dollars, and you talking about, oh, I want to be more than him. Try to sit down somewhere. Let it go. Tell them to talk to me. And I tell them in their face.
There we go. We got an email in there.
Sit down somewhere. Enjoy life. You're a billionaire. You're not going to use all the money by the time it's time for you to croak over and move on to the next eternal life as it is. Let it go. Stop trying to be bigger than the next person. Be thankful for what you have and don't worry about it. Child, please. And give us some money.
Email us. We'll have a luncheon. It'll be great. Yeah. I just want to put that out because, you know, when you're wondering why you can't buy a home anymore and you can only rent a home, these investors look a little scary now.
Oh, yeah.
And these companies are looking a little scary now, too.
You just have, I just feel like you have to do your homework with whatever you do and whatever you try to accomplish in life. Do a little bit of homework. If you don't know, ask the next individual that you think know. And, you know, hopefully everything turn out to be the best for you and whoever.
Right. I don't want to see any regulations for stuff like this. It's like there's a simple way to like fix this without having to do all that. But since we're talking about billionaires and millionaires and all that stuff, an interesting little story popped up. Mark Cuban, he's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks NBA National Basketball Association team in Dallas. He was also a co-host on the Shark Tank show. It's a show where small companies can come in and try to get money and investments from these billionaires. And, you know, they throw their pitch out there and they decide, do you want to invest? Do you not want to invest? So he was on that for about 16 years. He's pretty much been there from the start. And 2 days ago, he said, I'm leaving the show after this season. So, okay, he's leaving the show after this season. Another story came out that Miss Miriam Adelson, who is head of the Las Vegas Sands company. Las Vegas Sands, if you've ever been out there to the Sands Casino, it's a giant company of casinos around the world. So she sold some of her shares in the company, about $2 billion worth, and then took some cash that she had and bought a $3.5 billion stake in the Dallas Mavericks. So Mark owned the whole company, the whole team, sold off a majority of shares to her for $3.5 billion. So if he's leaving a show, stepping away from the team, he's still going to do some day-to-day stuff there. Getting all this money, $3.5 billion is a lot. What do you think he's doing with that? Because there's an interesting rumor that is floating around now of why he got all that money and why he's taking all this time off.
I just think when you be a billionaire, it's time for you to sit down and let it go. You sit here racking your brain trying to buy baseball teams, football teams, instead of just enjoying life. Let it go. Enjoy life. You done made it to your 60s, 70s, and let it go. You know, you finna croak over in the next 25 years. Enjoy life.
If I had enough money, I'd buy a team. I'd probably buy the Orlando Magic.
Because I'm finna enjoy life. You know, they need to live in our little shoe for a minute and see what we go through in life. They right here billionaires and talking about they want to buy a team and all. You already a billionaire. How much more money you want?
Yeah.
You know, enjoy life.
Sit front row.
They in their 60s and they still talking about they want to be bigger than the next person. Child, please, you already 60. You finna die in the next 25, 30. Enjoy life. That's all I'm saying. You know, why is these billionaires thinking they're supposed to be much more powerful than the next? They need to live in our shoe.
What's wrong with having a coin?
No, ain't nothing wrong with having a coin, but when you're a billionaire, it's time to let it go. Let somebody else handle it and live, go on a yacht and go on swing on a tree somewhere and just have fun. You know, that's why they need to live in our little shoes, our little bit of shoes, and then they'll see what life is really all about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they you know, had it easy all their life, but come on, they billionaires already. It's time to just let it go. You still want to buy another team. You still want to do this. Child, please, you wrecking your brain trying to figure all this stuff out. Just let it go and leave it to the next person that's up and coming and live life. That's it.
But do you want to know what the rumor is that he might be trying for?
First of all, I don't even know the man on Shark Tank. I do know about Shark Tank, but I don't keep up with these people because I don't care. I don't care what the man do with his money. I don't care what she do with her money. They ain't giving me none, so it don't matter. I still got to get up and go to my little 9 to 5 and keep it pushing. Now, if they want to give me some, I show them how to live.
Okay, the rumor is he might be running for president. So, Mark Cuban is president, possibility. That's what they said.
They need to take these. You see the spoon and fork?
I see the spoon and fork.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Stop all that foolishness. Both of y'all being now you trying to make 10 more over the other one because you want to be more powerful than him. Child, please. Both of y'all old, sit down somewhere and talk about it and just live life. Go travel together. Do something with your life.
So that's the rumor. He's definitely going to do something. I mean, you don't get $3.5 billion and just put it around for a rainy day. So he's definitely doing something with it. Right. What it is, I don't know if it's going to be the presidency, but several people are actually putting that out that it might be a possibility as a third-party candidate. So you heard it here first. You heard it here first. If it does happen. Right. So okay.
Right.
So the big daddy himself, the richest man in the world, Mr. Elon Musk, was being interviewed at a convention that they're doing in New York with a lot of bigwigs there. And so the backstory is he made some comments on Twitter /X that might have been taken as anti-Semitic. I saw them, it's questionable at best. So a lot of the big companies, Disney, Apple, IBM, started taking their advertising off of Twitter and X. So the guy interviewing him asks him, says, hey, do you want to apologize for making the comments? Do you want to, say you're going to change or any way? I mean, what do you say to these companies that are taking the funding away? And I actually got a video of it. Now it's edited, so it's not completely original, but we're gonna play it and we're gonna put it to the test. Hold on one sec. So what he says is really interesting. And I'm gonna show you the video first, and then we can do a quick snippet on it. It is from my Twitter. It's the Angriest Man in Orlando, and I'll put the call sign on it right after we watch the video.
There's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger.
I hope they stop. If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Hey, Bob.
There's a public perception that that was part of a
So I found a video with the added on audience cheering, but he basically told him to go fuck yourself. If you're actually going to blackmail me with money, what do you really think that's going to work? So he is the richest man in the world. Can you actually blackmail this guy with money?
No, the man got enough money. So if they take the advertisement away and take whatever away, he's still sought for life. So he don't care. Why would he care?
I don't think he would. I mean, it reminds me of a scene from the Batman movie, The Dark Knight, where there's an individual who works for the Wayne Company, and he comes up and he says, well, I think I found out that there's a lot of stuff that looks like it might be that the owner is Batman. And Lucius Fox, who was working with Batman at the time, tells him, so your plan is to take an individual who goes around beating up bad guys and you're going to blackmail him? Good luck with that. So it really is you're becoming the person that they really don't care about. So these companies are becoming individuals that nobody's caring about. They're trying to hold this, well, we're not going to give him money to advertise us. Well, yeah, nobody cares about your companies anyway. So the advertising is mute at best. And the man's got more money than he knows what to do with. So he doesn't really need the money. I thought it was a great moment. It basically just go tell these heads of major corporations, go fuck yourself, was a moment that I think is gonna change a few things in the world.
Some people care, and a lot of people just don't care. I mean, I don't even care. He ain't giving me no money, so I don't care.
Well, I mean, if we become big on Twitter, we'd be getting some money out of there. But so no, nothing on it. Nothing. You don't really care.
Nothing on it, child.
No. Okay. So I'm gonna put my. So this is my name on Twitter. If you want to go see me, I post every now and then. It's some really fun stuff to watch. And as you can see, my alarm is going off. I've got to go hit the gym, do some exercising and everything. But if you want to join me on X and Twitter, I post some really fun stuff. It's really controversial stuff. It's a lot of fun to read and just be like, what? Why? Anyway, so we're going to start wrapping up the show. Thank you, everyone who is watching. It's a long show. I believe there's going to be a debate between Governor DeSantis and Governor Gavin Newsom, so that'll be fun to tune into now. So Co-host, do we have any comments, concerns, quote of the night? Anything?
All I got to do is tell people for the night. Live life to the fullest. If you decide to buy labels, you buy your labels. If you don't, you don't. Make sure you try to strive and save up for your future or for a retirement or for your grandbaby future or whatever, but have fun in life at the same time, but don't let it put you in the sinkhole.
Good talk. And if you've been watching our shows, we've been giving some great notes on, how to invest and how to take some of that money and make it into better money. So if you want, go back and rewatch stuff, or you can email me personally. My email's in there. And I'll let you know some good tips and tricks on how to build your wealth. And, you'd be driving a Maserati before you know it. There you go.
Well, Anthony and I would like to say good night. We love you for free. We appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much for joining us, subscribing, following, and all that good stuff. Go watch Angriest Man in Orlando.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let me check in there for that. Yeah, we love you for free. We're basically self-financed here. So all those other advertisers, stay away from us. We don't care. If you want to promote on here, give me a shout at the email in the description box, and we'll put you on if we like you. And Angriest Man was not on Tuesday. I've been shuffling through a lot of stuff. Actually had a couple days off, so we're getting back into it as soon as we can. We've got some people we're working on trying to get onto the show, so it's going to be exciting going forward. So that is the Angriest Man in Orlando channel. You can check that out too. Take it away. Close us out for the night.
All right. Good night, each and every one of you. Once again, we say thank you. We greatly appreciate you. We can't say that enough. And we love you once again. And good night.
Good night, everybody.